You're tuned to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay. This is the wonderful world of Wardini Books, and it's our pleasure, as always, to have in the studio Lou from Wardini Books in Havelock North. How you going, Lou?
Really well, Ken. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of a break over Easter weekend. What about you?
I think I might get a little one. Not much going on this Easter, so it'll be quite nice.
Day off?
Yeah.
And you're back running now?
Not quite. A little tiny bit. Not too much going on.
Far away from it.
More from laziness than injury.
Four more great books, and let's start off with Ragweeds' Farmdog Handbook.
This is a really cool little picture book from Ann Vitter Kennedy, and Ragweed is giving the lowdown on how you can be the best farm dog. He's the best farm dog, obviously. So it says, I'm Ragweed, I'm a farm dog, and I'm really, really good at it. Most dogs aren't, but don't worry, you'll be great. You have the handbook. So everything starts with, here's the first thing you need to know, or here's what else you need to know, and it is in a very sort of academic kind of way. The rooster wakes the farmer early in the morning. That's his job. That's not your job. Don't wake the farmer. You will really, really want to wake the farmer, but don't wake the farmer. And then if you do wake the farmer, you can get a biscuit just to go away. So it's a little instruction on do this or don't do this, and then how you get a biscuit. So there's the big instructions are how you get a biscuit. So it's and he's even made a deal with the fox there. Now about chickens. Chickens sit on their nests and lay eggs. That's their job. That's not your job. Don't sit on their nests. You'll really, really want to sit on their nests, but don't sit on their nests. Bonus advice. Pretend you were chasing a fox away and you will get 3 biscuits. Give the fox 1. So it's a really funny, gorgeously, cheekily illustrated picture book for little children. And it's just good fun. There's no massive message in there.
No,
there's no issue in there. It's a fun book for kids, and I really love it. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, that's good. And the next one is Rory Brannigan, Detective.
Rory Brannigan, Detective, by Andrew Glover and Ralph Lazar. I'm presuming one of them is the illustrator, usually the second one. So this is quite a surprising book. It looks like a big fat chapter book, but there are few words on some pages. So you get some pages where it's full of illustrations. There are only a couple of sentences. So this is for probably a 7-year-old-ish who wants a chapter book and is seen to be reading a big fat chapter book, but it's not going to be too hard for them. It's not going to put them off greatly. But there are some interesting little concepts in this. So Rory, his dad went missing. There's a really poignant bit where he just tells you the story of his dad went missing. He was pushing him on the swings, and then he turns around and his dad's gone when he was 3 years old. And now he's decided, with the help of the new girl that moves in next door, that he is going to be a detective, and he's going to find out what happened to his dad. So that's quite big, really, for little kids. So I think young kids would read it and they'd just find it really quite hilarious. So some of the bits are really gorgeous. So he spies on everybody because he's already got that sort of detective gene in his body, and his best friend is the lady next door's dog. So Wilkins Welkin is her dog. He's probably his best friend in the whole world. You might think it's a bit weird having a best friend who's a sausage dog. He's just like a normal best friend. The only difference is he'd never come round on a bike. And if we're watching TV, he only really pays attention if there's a cat. And he even comes for sleepovers. And I don't mind admitting that when he does, Wilkins Welkin and I, we do hug. There's a little sausage dog with
it. And they're so simple, those drawings, but they're really effective, aren't they?
Really effective. You can see the expressions of those kids' faces. Yeah, amazing. So it gets quite complex, actually, in what's happened to his dad and some sneaky shenanigans going on with crime in the area, and Rory and Cassidy being the ones to solve the plot. So there's quite a lot in a seemingly simple book. Are you able to reveal, does he find his dad, or do we have to read the book? I don't like to give spoilers, but there are clues as to what's happened to Dad. Okay. Yeah.
You're listening to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay. This is the wonderful world of Wardini Books. Now you have 2 shops.
Yeah, we do. We're in Havelock North and we're in Napier.
Indeed, and you have a Facebook and a web page.
Yes, website, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram's a good one.
Now, the Queen of Bloody Everything. Do you get called that?
I should do, really, because
but it is a good book.
It was really good fun, actually, and it's funny you should say that because it's sort of set during the time that I grew up. So I was born in the early 70s, and so I was a young kid, late 70s, just a baby. And this is by Joanna Nadin, who normally writes for children. She's a prolific writer for children and young adults, and I really enjoyed it because it was funny, but it had a proper sort of plot. So we have got Edie, who has a child when she's 19, leaves her boring suburban town, drops out of university to have this baby, and she lives in London in a squat, and her daughter Dido, what a dramatic and tragic name that is. Dido is brought up in a squat to begin with until she's about 6. And you think, oh, God, they're all dope fiends and all that kind of... Yeah, they kind of are, but they're not really nasty ones. No. So there's no child abuse going on. Dido has a very unconventional upbringing, but she's quite loved.
Yes, that's nice.
But then, oh, thank God. And then they move to Great Aunt Nina's house, which is left to Edie in Great Aunt Nina's will. There's a beautiful... She's been brought up on fairy stories. She's obsessed with fairy stories, and she just wants her own Narnia. And when they move into this house that they've been bequeathed, there's a wooden door that leads to another house where the perfect family lives. And because she's got such a bonkers mother, she covets this family. It's got a mother who has rules, it's got a father who's jolly and cheerful and fixes things, and it's got 2 perfect shiny children who she just latches onto. And then Edie is quite a wild card. She does not follow any social conventions at all. She says what comes into her head. She's an artist. She does a lot of smoking and drinking, and so Dido just wants to be part of this family next door, really. Yeah. And it really is about her relationship with her mother, and its highs and its way, way lows. And I just thought it was really beautiful. It turns into a bit of a love story as well, because Dido is obsessed with, from childhood, the boy next door, Tom, and that carries on throughout her life. So it sort of unpacks a bit about their relationship too.
Sounds like a girly book to me.
I thought you might say that. It probably is, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, it really appealed to me. I thought it was great.
A year at Hotel Gondola.
Yeah, so this is Nikki Pellegrino, who's a New Zealand author, and she writes beautifully about Italy. They're all set in Italy. I think Nikki's grandparents are Italian, and she spent her summers there. And so they're Italy, it's food, it's wine, it's romance. Probably a girl's book, Ken.
By the sound of it, yeah, you get better than this.
Yeah, but it makes you hungry, it makes you want to eat stuff, and it makes you want to have a nice glass of wine or a beautiful cocktail. And so in this one, our hero is Kat Black, and she's an unusual sort of romance hero because she's already 50 years old, and I really like that we're actually getting some sort of more mature characters who are still our heroes. And she has she's a travel writer, she's got a program, and interest is waning, and she's sort of been sacked from one of the programs that she does, and she thinks, right, I've got to rethink my life, I've got to see what I'm going to do next. She doesn't want to settle down. She's never really had long-term relationships. She's going to spend a year at Hotel Gondola, as in the title, and she's got a relationship with the man that owns it, and she's going to try and stay and see where the relationship takes them. And it is totally atmospheric. So you are out on the streets of Venice searching out the places where the locals eat and drink, and it just makes you want to go there. Perfect, it's almost like having a little holiday in your head when you read Nikki Pellegrino. She's really good, and she's coming to visit us. So she's coming on Sunday the 8th of April. She will be at Effetto Brahma, which is the new sort of pop-up Italian shop that's on Joel Road in Havelock North. She's going to be there from 3 till 4:30 talking about Hotel Gondola, and obviously we'll be selling the books there for her. So yeah.
Okay, and just to remind our listeners, before I let you get back to work, we want to come and see you either in Havelock or in Napier. Where are you?
We're 16 Tomato Road in Havelock and 44 Hastings Street in Napier.
As always, a pleasure, Lou. Look after yourself. Talk to you same time, same place next time.
Lovely. Thank you, Ken.